Welcome to our weekly PBA session. My name is Karolina Nadolska, and I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner. And today, again, I am with Dr. Kamal. Hello, Dr. Kamal.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm cold, and you're probably warm.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Yeah. So today we're talking about a very interesting topic, and this is microbiome in our guts. And before that, I went to research a little bit the topic from the Western perspective, Western medicine. And I found out an incredible statistic that we have 100 trillion bacteria, good and bad, living in each of us. So this is those bacteria help us with physiology, with metabolism, with nutrition, and of course, the most important, with immunity, right? So today's topic is actually very, very important because we are talking about one particular location for those bacteria, about gut. But they also live on our skin and protect our skin and our hair, make them beautiful, right? So, what is exactly gut bacteria?
Yeah, you said it right because every one of us has an individual and a unique system of trillions of bacteria living in our gut. And it is the bioflora and the microbiome that helps you to digest the food because it is a mutual relationship between the gut bacteria and the human body. We need the good bacteria and the bacteria needs us. So the relation starts the moment you are born from your mother. That moment, the relationship between the bacteria and your body starts.
Okay, so this is actually very important because babies that are born through C-section, cesarean, right? They don't have the good gut bacteria and they have to take probiotics.
Yeah, it's a good point because that's why we say that the kids who are born to the C-section and formula fed are more prone to getting obese and diabetes as compared to the kids who are born to the natural route of like vaginal route, because that time they are exposed to great bacterial colonies which help you to develop good bacteria later on. So that's a major difference, which nowadays I think people are not understanding it and they prefer the painless and the easy way to get delivered the baby. But there is a scientific reason behind getting normal deliveries.
So this actually, in a very simple way, should show us how important the symbiosis with good bacteria in our gut is. Looking at the small kids, right, and their
Right.
yes, their obesity rates, their rate of digesting vitamins, complex vitamin B. Yeah,
Since their childhood, they are just taking pills for every disease. That's
yeah.
not good for the future generations here.
Okay, so we said that there are around 100 trillion good and bad bacteria and a couple of billion inside of our gut. So, what is the difference between the good and the bad bacteria?
Okay, so when we talk about good and bad, there are always two sides of a coin, as we know.
Yes.
So, what we should try is to increase more of the good bacteria inside our body. But still, it depends on what you feed them. Whenever you eat any food, so you should always remember that you are feeding two people. One is yourself, and the other is the bacteria. So when you keep on feeding the pizza, pastas, burgers, and all these junk food, which is tasty but not healthy, so bacteria will develop that taste. And slowly and gradually, the bad bacteria will start to develop and they will remove and they'll sideline the good bacteria, which likes when later on when you will feed them broccoli, salads, and all the healthy food, they will not dislike it because until then the good bacteria will be gone.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
this is the major difference that good bacteria helps you to digest the food, produce a lot of vitamins, helps in absorption, and also it coordinates and cooperate with the immune system because in the lining of the intestine there is immune cells as well.
Mhm.
So that plays a very important role in the immunity. And when these good bacteria are not enough in number and bad bacteria has increased to a very large number, you will not have those benefits which the good bacteria was giving you. And they will act as a harmful pathogens that can cause infections in your gut, in your intestines. Like the inflammation can be there, indigestion can be there, gastritis, celiac disease.
E.
a lot of
coli,
problems.
right? Also,
E. coli.
yeah. So
H. pylori
this,
is a very common
yes.
bacteria. Like I have seen personally in my OPD in my patients that patients are suffering from H. pylori, and that can be diagnosed with the stool test, and that's very hard to eradicate because once it is developed, it'll just keep on multiplying itself, and it's very difficult to remove it from the body.
And what is also interesting, and the problem becomes much more complex, is that very often bacteria and fungi release neurotoxins, right? And they tell us and tell our brain what to eat. So we are basically like addicts. We have more sugar, and this is not really for our good or for the well-being of our body, but this is for the well-being of the bad bacteria and the fungi.
Yeah, that's what when somebody says, listen to your gut instincts, all these things. So something is there that your gut is the second brain, right? So
Yes.
it can just connect to the brain gut axis. There can be something like brain gut axis, which is working parallelly and coordinating among themselves. So it's all about the gut that you are talking about. Like every time you should listen to the gut. And because when you have a craving, because bad bacteria will always crave for sugar, craving sweet things. And you have to make full of that bacteria by giving something sweet in nature but healthy, like fruits. Instead of giving them bakery products, donuts, cookies, and all these things, feed them with the orange and all the sweet fruits, because that way their craving for the sweet thing will be settled, and also they will not have some unhealthy food that way.
So in that way, we can understand how the obesity epidemic really spreads. If we have a lot of bad bacteria, then the bad bacteria are telling our brain what to eat, right? What are other diseases that are caused by the bad bacteria living in our gut?
So there are a lot of diseases that is nowadays has increased to many fold. So we'll start with the indigestion. Second is hyperacidity. Celiac disease is there. IBS, you might have heard, irritable bowel syndrome, which is more of the psychological disorder. Another one is ulcerative colitis, which is mainly related to the colon part. And after that, there is Crohn's disease. Sometimes, most of the time, when these diseases proliferate to a stage, like to advanced stage, they convert into autoimmune disease as well, which is really difficult to treat because in that your own immune system is eating up the healthy cells.
So this all sounds very serious. So what can we do to have more good bacteria in our intestine?
Yeah. So we will start with few points that with the food that you can do, like try to include more of the fiber in your diet, because that forms the bulk. When the undigested food is collected at a point, fiber will help to make it a bulk form and a bolus form, so that it is easy to take it out from the body. So whenever you are taking fiber and when you have a healthy bowel movement, it should have three characteristics, like three S should be there. First one is it should be smooth. Second one, it should be soft. And third one, it should be snake-like. It might appear like a bit weird, but that is true. Whenever you have such kind of bowel movement, it means you are having a healthy gut. Your undigested food is getting excreted out on time and in a good way.
It
So
makes
fiber helps
total sense, if I can interrupt you, because sometimes I have patients with chronic constipation and their bowel movement it's every other day or every third day, and they have really like straight, hard,
yeah,
and
hard.
not
Yeah.
smooth at all. Yes.
That's a very bad sign because that shows that you are not properly hydrated. You are not having enough fiber in your diet, and your motions and your bowel in the colon is not moist even to smoothen the undigested food and the stools. So that's not a very good sign.
Okay. Okay, so
And
this is right now a particular case. We have Christmas approaching and living in a dark, cold climates, not like privileged like yourself in Australia. We are trying to go to sneak for Christmas for to a warmer climate. So if we are going to change our diet, our way of life for 2 weeks from 0 centigrade or -5, 10 with dark, moist and really like Vata type of climate, to a Pitta type of climate with a lot of sun and dryness and heat. How do we protect our good microbiome? What do we do to stay
So,
healthy?
according to Ayurveda, when we go from one season or one ritu to the other one, there is the time period, like the end of first one and the starting of the other one. So that's called the ritu sandhi in Ayurveda. And
Mhm.
that's the most critical time when you are prone to get a lot of infections, a lot of waterborne infections, airborne infections, because at that time your immunity is a bit low. So
Mhm.
that is the time you need to take care of your diet and lifestyle more than the usual days. So in that, just try to have and include more of the fermented foods in your diet. Like nowadays, we are listening to a term of probiotics,
Yeah.
and what that contains, that is only the lactobacillus bacteria, which helps you in all the work that I have told you earlier, in digestion, in producing the vitamins, absorption of the nutrients, all these things. So look for fermented foods. Like in India, if I talk about, it's idli, dokla, and kimchi is there. I think it's a Japanese dish.
Korean.
Yeah, Korean. Yeah. So try to include things which are fermented,
We have
because that
sauerkraut,
really.
which is really equivalent to kimchi, all of the Central Europe, yes, and it's a stinky cabbage.
So I think we need to find out, like people are staying in a very different corner of the world, so you need to find out the fermented foods in your diet. After that, try to avoid artificial sweeteners. Whenever you buy a thing, just look for the ingredients. Whenever there is artificial, just keep that thing back in the shelf, and that is not good for you. And when I say white products like white refined sugar or white salt, every time white is not right.
Oh, I like
So
that.
not say
That's
that, yeah.
wise.
Because what I think is, white does not denote peace.
Yes.
It can make you rest in peace. Yeah, so we have to think about it, because white things like there is cornflower, and all the flours that are there, which are used to make all of the frozen foods and the bakery products. So they seems tasty, because nowadays there is a trend to eat ready to made food every time.
Yeah.
And the problem is not the processed food, the problem is the ultra processed food, because they just remove, in case of wheat, they just remove the ban, they just remove the germ layer, and just to increase the shelf life and to make it in a bulk quantity. So that is just reducing the qualities and the nutrients that are present in that product. But no, they are just having a quantity, more of the quantity from that. So just focus on these things, whatever I told you: fiber, fermented foods, avoid artificial sweeteners, try to include a little bit of exercise in your diet, manage stress, because whenever nowadays people are more of working, not staying at home, and you should manage stress, because stress directly affects your gut health. A study shows that the indigestion and the gut bacteria is related to the mental health disorders as well, like autism. I think we have made a video on autism as well. So there was a cause in autism as well, indigestion. We need to work on digestion as well, because what stress does, it just eradicate the good bacteria and just deprivate your gut health. So these are the points you need to take care whenever you are going through that phase and having a bad stomach.
So this is a very good summary. So not only diet, not only organic food, right? Good quality food, a lot of vegetables, fiber, but also exercise, and of course reduction of stress. Yeah, very well said.
And one more thing that I forgot is, because nowadays, whenever we got some infection, we just go to the doctor and take the antibiotics. That's the first thing they give us. And antibiotics is just the word of anti, which is against the bacteria, right? They're killing your own bacteria. Just respect your body, listen to your body, have faith, because there is a inbuilt defense mechanism in our body as well. So we just need to give some time to that to fight against that infection. Because excess use of antibiotics is just destroying the gut bacteria all the time. Later on, affecting the liver as well. So that's also a very important point I want to tell you all.
Yeah, I totally agree. For diabetics, yes, all of this is death. Yeah. And yes, antibiotic, definitely. You have to increase your insulin dosages, even sometimes 50% when you take antibiotics, because the symbiosis with good microbiome helps you
Yeah.
lower your insulin needs. So yes.
Yeah. And just a 3-day course of the antibiotic disturb the whole gut flora, and
Mm.
it takes a long time to recover from that disturbed flora. You just need to have a special diet lifestyle to go back to the normal one.
This is actually very nice. 3 days. Here, it's minimum 7 days, 7 to 10 days. Can you imagine? And then 1 month of getting back your microbiome, or maybe a couple of months.
Everyone just needs the quick result.
Yeah.
Nobody has the time to wait for it the natural way. They just want a quicker result for everything.
So to summarize, my two favorite saying today is white is not right.
Yeah.
The three S. Can you repeat the three S?
Yeah. So I think we all should just keep in mind all the time, because whenever you go for a to a toilet, you should just observe, because some people think it's a weird thing to do, but no, you have to see if you are getting a healthy excretion or not. Because if you will not notice this is something, the other person cannot do it for you, right? So
Yeah.
you just only have to observe. So the 3S that we should all keep in mind is soft, other is smooth, and third one is snake like.
Hmm.
Because if you don't want the snake to bite the bite that you eaten, no, that's why you should be snake like. Yeah.
Ah, wow. Even more.
Nowadays I'm getting a bit rhythmic. Yeah.
I get the
Because
idea.
I want our listeners to be more interested, because it's not just they should just listen to the video because we are saying something great. It's not like that, but it should be interesting the way that
Yes.
you should wait for the next video what we are doing.
Yes. I am
Yeah.
waiting. Yeah. Well, yeah, and evacuation and peeing, it's one of the greatest and simplest tests to really see how our body is doing.
Yes.
The color of
I think
peeing
everybody
also
can
helps.
do it. It's just that it needs a constant reminder and a subscription to our channel of Pure Bliss Akram.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so please remember to subscribe and to watch us every week. And thank you
Yeah.
for watching, and
Come
see
up with
you
a
soon.
next very interesting topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kamal. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye
Namaste.
bye.
Bye bye.